Peace and blessing, family. It's your man Maarifa, and welcome to another Maarifa moment where knowledge is reborn. Are you ready? Let's go. Yeah, and we black. Yeah, it's your man Maarifa Black yet again with another great video. Look, dig, I know I've been gone for a minute, but I've been very busy running the Maarifa Asar brand. Have a lot of amazing things happening, you know what I'm saying, for the brand recently, and we just going up from here, you know what I'm saying? We are up. And it's the number one urban, brand in the streets in America today is that Maarifa Asar. Everybody's out there rocking that Maarifa Asar right now, and we really hot out in these streets. You know what I'm saying? So we want to shout out to my man Dr. Umar Johnson. I got a chance to meet him in Houston, Texas. You know what I'm saying? I saw his live video where he was rocking the Maarifa Asar gear out at the FDMG Academy out in Wilmington, Delaware. You know, much love and respect to the doc. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him and his support. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. We got a lot of great things coming for the rest of the year with Maarifa Asar. We're going to be doing events, pop-up events and stuff like that that are going on at the Buffalo Soldier Museum. So if you're in Houston, Texas, the first Friday or the second Saturday of the month, come out to the Black Houston Market over at the Buffalo Soldier Museum and come see us at the table. Maarifa Asar, we have some great gear available to you at affordable prices. Get you fly and fresh to death, you know what I'm saying? So you can go out and be representing the culture, the black culture, which is you. Go ahead and check us out online also at maarifasar.com. You know what I'm saying? So dig. We got us a great topic today. We're going to be talking about the African roots of India. Yeah, a good one. You know what I'm saying? But before we do all that, you know how we do it. We need to get these admin notes out the way. So dig, check it out. You see it right here. It's a banner. You know what I'm saying? This banner right here. We need you to like, subscribe, follow, and share all of our social media platforms at Maarifa Asar LLC. You know what I'm saying? The second thing we need you to do is subscribe to this channel. We need you to blow up the subscribers list. Go ahead and blow this channel up. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it going to the top. You know, we need to get the algorithm blown up so that way you can always get these Maarifa moments and get this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Hit the subscribe bell. Hit the bell to be notified when we drop a live video or go on or drop a new video so you'll be notified and get that knowledge in you. The third thing we need you to do is check these fly melanated beans out you see on the screen. Dig, they looking fly, fresh to death. You need to go over to maarifasar.com right after this video. Rush over there and get you some fly gear. You know what I'm saying? So you could be rocking that fly and fresh gear that you see me rocking as well. You dig? This is the number one urban gear in the streets today. You got to be rocking that Maarifa Asar and representing yourself. You know what I'm saying? This African movement is going and it's growing fast. So you need to jump on, you know what I'm saying, and get you some gear at maarifasar.com and rep that African knowledge, you know what I'm saying, and rep that culture. So dig, are y'all ready for the lesson for today? Let's go. All right. So what we're talking about here is the African roots of India. Okay. It's going to be a very deep conversation. We're going to be discussing how they went from African tribes to what you see today in India. All right. So let's get it going. So dig. So what you see here today, right now, is this is how the Indians currently look in India. You know what I'm saying? Majority of them. You know what I mean? So you may have seen a lot of Indians in this part looking this way. You know, the lighter skinned Indians and stuff like that. You may have seen them here in America, working in different jobs and things like nature. They have a large population, here in America that are Indian descent from India. And you seen them in doing IT jobs or customer service related stuff. You may seen them in schools and universities. We even have one in the White House right now, but we'll discuss that a little bit later. But yeah, this is what they look like. But there is an ancient, African tie with India, okay? And there's a relationship there, and we're going to discuss that relationship and how it occurred, okay? So let's see what you see here, and you got to understand from watching my previous videos that the ancient Africans were the first, the very first to navigate the oceans. Okay, they were first to build boats, on the planet. We, as African people, were the first ones to build boats on the planet, and we navigated the seas and we navigated the oceans using the monsoon currents. Okay, as you see here, this is me in ancient Kemet, in the Cairo area under Khufu's pyramid in Giza, and you'll see on the display they have Khufu's boat. And Khufu boat will show you, you know what I'm saying, that Africans have boats long before any Christopher Columbus ever stepped onto the scene. All right. So the way we navigated those waters and we went from one landmass to the next, crossing the seas and the oceans, we used the currents, the monsoon winds. The currents that were sweeping through from the winds made the currents extremely strong. And during certain parts of the season, it allowed boats to sail across to different parts of land in the world. You know what I'm saying? And that's how Africans were able to navigate. The Africans are the very first to navigate, the seas. So it's a lot of rivers in Africa. So, to be able to travel back and forth, the Africans had to have the boats. So we were already smart in that technology. You know what I mean? So we navigated the seas and we had be able to travel back and forth to different lands. And that's how you got Ethiopia, the Ethiopian, who different tribes of Ethiopian to go over to India, sailing through those current and monsoon winds and those currents during certain times of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like during the summertime, the currents will sweep one way, and then coming back for the fall, it'll sweep back to Africa. You know what I'm saying? So you can go all the way to the east and then come on back west. You know what I'm saying? But these are the ancient Ethiopians. So the ancient Ethiopians were melanated beings, all right, from Africa region. They are the Dravidian, okay? So remember in my previous video, I told you the black woman is God. The black woman is not the ultimate creator on high. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is when we say the black woman is God, is that she's capable of creating all phenotypes, the hair colors, the eye color, the straightening of the hair, the nappiness of the hair. You know what I'm saying? The slantedness of the eye, the broadening of the nose, the fullness of the lips. The black woman has the DNA genotype to be able to create all of those elements. Okay, so there was a mutation that occurred. The mutation that occurred with the Dravidian had the straight hair. Okay, so you can see the Dravidian here. So let's take a look at the Dravidian. You see how the straight hair is there? Still melanated, straight hair, dark pigment skin, straight hair Dravidian. Okay, then you could tell the difference, and you can see. But your modern day Dravidians are still on the planet today, and you can see some of them. You probably saw some maybe working at a gas station or something like that, and you could see and tell that they have African features or African similarities, with the dark skin, the melanated skin, and the broad nose. You know what I'm saying? So the only difference is the hair. You know what I mean? So this is the Adivasi tribe. The Adivasi tribe is the very first indigenous tribe in India, ancient India. Okay, so the Adivasis come out of the Dravidian. Okay, so when they sailed across the seas from Ethiopia, they are part of the Ethiopian, and they went in and settled into India because that land was fertile and the land was, had rivers in it, so it was able to be able to produce food and grow food and crops. Okay, so when they went over, they were looking for resources, and they found them there in India, and they stayed there. The Adivasis, you know what I'm saying, and you can still see them today in India. All right. So the Adivasis community is about 75 small Adivasi community in India, and they're called the particularly vulnerable tribal group. You know what I'm saying? So they're almost extinct to the point where they have to, maintain their status um, as far as the caste system, and we'll discuss that a little bit further in this video. All right, but they are the first indigenous in those lands, and they are descendants of the Dravidian. Okay, so the African Dravidian that you see. All right, so you could tell the African influence in India because they worshipped black gods. Their Buddha was a black Buddha. Okay, and you could tell by the fullness of the lips, the broadening of the nose. You see the slantiness of the eye that comes from the Bushman. You know what I'm saying? From the South, and then you also see the dreading of the hair. Okay, so they had dreads in the hair, so that hair is of African come. And pay attention to the earlobes, the extended earlobes right there, where they put the wood pieces. The Africans would to extend the wood piece inside the earlobes, and that is an African trait and tradition, okay? A custom from Africa that you will clearly see. And you can see right here, right there, this black Buddha head with from India is, same knotty dreads, the woolly hair, and then the earlobes, the fullness of the lips. Take a look at the features, okay? This is the first Buddhists, first, Buddhas that they were worshiping, the black Buddha, okay, in Hindu. They called it Hindu Kush. So the Ethiopians were the Kushites, and they called it Hindu Kush in India, okay? So that was the ancient name for it. So then you see the same thing, you know what I'm saying? The cornrows and things of that nature in the Buddha's head. And then the elongation of the earlobe, and you could tell right there that's an African trait. And see right here, here's another African brother right here from Africa. And you could tell the earlobes pay specifically petition at that. And you could tell right there the Buddha that that is related to African tradition and customs. Okay. So they can't deny it. All right, so here what you have, this is a image carved out in Angkor Wat in Cambodia. So that tells you that the Ethiopian African influence stretched even further to the east over into Asia. And I'm gonna do another video where we go ahead and take a look at all of the different, influence that the Ethiopians had in Asia. Okay, so we're gonna be looking at a lot of that. But you could tell right there the same thing. Look at the earlobes, the fullness of the lips and the nose. Okay, this is carved out of stone. The technique that they use is very, very familiar and similar to that of ancient Nubia. Okay, the Nubians in Sudan and the Ethiopians in that region had that same knowledge where they were using that technology to carve out stone carvings, and they had that technology that went all the way up to Lower Kemet, okay, and they were utilizing that to carve out the Sphinx that we call today Haru and Maquette, but they also used that to carve out Abu Simbel, so faces on the walls and things of that nature, African features that were carved out. This technology and this knowledge was passed down from generation to generation from the Nile Valley, and it stretched all the way to East Asia, okay? So we'll talk about that another day in time. But you see right here, this is the black Buddha, okay? So the darkness of the skin, this is what they worshiped, okay? So when they had worship in Hindu Kush, India, these are the images in which they had depicted. So the Dravidian, the dark-skinned Dravidian, they always depicted themselves as God. Any culture will do the exact same thing. They're going to depict their God looking like their people. Okay, so this is how you identify what people were in the land at that time. Okay, so you see that they had the black Buddha right there that they were worshiping. Okay, so even their priests copied a lot of ancient African traditions with the garments, with the baldness of the head, and the look that they have. You see them, right here. This is a Buddhist monk. You see another Buddhist monk with the bald head and wearing, the cloth around his head. They got that from ancient Kemet. Okay, so these are the Kari head priests in ancient Kemet. You see the bald heads, you know what I'm saying? You see the garments and things of that nature, similar, very similar to the Buddhist monk that they have today. Okay, in India, you can tell this is the influence from the Nile Valley culture. Okay, there, right there, the Buddhist monk, the bald head, not the Buddhist monk, I'm sorry, but the Kari head priest in ancient Kemet. Okay, same as the Buddhist monk. Also, their building structures, okay? Their building structures have similar things to African building structures. So, architectural wise, they also copied and emulated things that they had from the Nile Valley. They took that knowledge with them when they traveled and started building that civilization and that colony up. This is a temple in India, okay? You notice the pyramid shape right there, the pyramid shape in the back end of it, and you have the long elongated column where you're going down into the halls in order to get back into the chambers, and then you get into like the place where they worship, okay? around by the temple here. And this one here, this picture right here is in Mali, in Timbuktu. So it's the same similar African structure. Okay, so this is on the west coast of Africa, and this one is all the way in India. So you can tell that the African influence from the Nile Valley culture extended not only east, but it also went west. Okay, so that's what you have here. You see the elongated, long, narrow, corridors leading back to the worship hall in the center of the pyramid. Now, this is in Meroe. These pyramids right here that you see right here, these are the Ethiopian pyramids in Meroe, and you could tell right here they have the pointiness of the pyramid structure right there. That's where you get that design from. That's where they get the concept and ideas. It came out of the Nile Valley culture. Okay, even you see in the Temple Karnak, this is like a image of the Temple of Karnak. This is not the image of Karnak, but this is an image of it. And you could tell like the structure of the elongated, hallway coming into the sanctuary, and then you get down into the chamber where you do your worship. Okay, so it's the same concept and idea with the building structure. Another concept you see right here in Indian temple. Look at the tier shape at the top. You have one tier, two tiers, three tiers. Now, where did they get this concept from? Boom, right here. Imhotep's design of his pharaoh king Dozier, you know what I'm saying, of the first step pyramid in Saqqara. That's me right there in Saqqara, right there in Egypt, when I went over with Ash Rakwesi, brother Ash Rakwesi, in the Kemet tour. And we went in and we actually, saw all of this stuff. So I was able to see it with my own two eyes and take pictures and things so I can bring it back and share the knowledge with you all. Okay, so you can see the same structured idea. This is an Indian temple. This is right here in Egypt, okay, in Kemet. So you could tell the African influence right there in their structure, okay, of their buildings. All right, so they have similarities and things that they have taken with them when they traveled into India, okay. So the Ethiopian, so we got to figure out, how do we go from the black god in India, the black Buddha rather, in which they worship in India, to this Buddha, the white Buddha? How did that happen? How did they switch, change it from black God as made to identify that into this white worship? Okay, worshiping of whiteness and things of that nature. So we got to understand there was an invasion by the Aryan. Okay, an Aryan invasion occurred around 1500 BCE in India. Okay, so there was a sweeping invasion from the Aryans from the north. They came out of Siberia, Russia area, and they swept down into India region, and they started raping, pillaging, killing, destroying all that they saw in that region. Okay, so the Ethiopians who were Dravidian, who were living in that region, they had stretched all the way north to, the top portion of India. But when the Aryans came in, they started killing them, pushing them down further south, southern India. Okay, that's where the Adivasi had probably extended those descendants of the Dravidian. When you get further south, that is the heart of Dravidia. Okay, so they had started this invasion in 1500 BCE. And then you have these albino Dravidians. Okay, that's who the Aryans are. The Aryans is nothing more than the oh, hang on a second. Okay, my timer on. The Dravidian is nothing more than an albino Aryan. Okay, so when you look at the Dravidian, they had albinos. Every race or nation had albinos. Okay, so when you look at albinos, that's where the Caucasian come from. The albino babies, but specifically the Dravidian had albinos, which are these people right here. And that's how you got the Aryan race. So they had moved in further north, when they were born, because they can't survive in the sun for so long. They'll start getting skin cancer and burning up and dying at an early age. So they took them north and left them there. You know what I'm saying? And they grew in numbers and started growing tribes, and they started growing in numbers. And then they came back. These Aryans came back and invaded that land in which they came from. Okay, where their mothers and fathers took them from. Okay, and they felt a sense of entitlement, so they came in and destroyed it and took the land and started destroying everything. And that's when you come up with these people right here, the Indo-Aryan. and they started getting lighter and lighter in color and shade. So you'll see how the transition occurred from the dark skinned Dravidian, you know what I mean, into the light Indo-Aryan. All right. So when the invasion occurred, they came down, through, like I said, Siberia and the Russia area, and started coming into, India, and then they started traveling west and started conquering and dominating, Germany and Europe. All of these Aryan nations, came out, and they're just barbaric. They were just, on horseback, just, just savages. You know what I mean? Just murderers and killers and savage. So that's where you get, a lot of these, the Caucasian race from. These albinos that were, coming in feeling slighted. They were feeling like, they were entitled to the land because that's where their forefathers were from, and they're going to take the land, from their forefathers and destroy them. That anything that represented, because they felt like they were abandoned. So there was a lot of different things that occurred with them mentally, which made them savages. And I'll do another video on another day to tell you exactly what happened with, the albinos and how that occurred with the ice age and all that stuff. And we'll go through all that another day in time. But this is what the Indian Aryan invasion was. Even in 1940s, in the 1940 AD, you had Adolf Hitler, who came out of Germany, who said he was a part of the Aryan nation, and he wanted to restore the Aryan power in the world. Okay, so Hitler's whole plot and plan before World War II had jumped off and stuff like that. He went in and invaded India, took a lot of the knowledge, and it started adopting that culture as his own. You see the swastika on his left arm? That swastika is not a symbol of hate. He took it from Africa. He took it from India. The the Indians got it from Ethiopia, which the African Ethiopian had took it to India, and it meant joyfulness, beauty, love, happiness. That's what it represented. Now Hitler took it and he changed it. He switched it up. And you could tell right here, you know what I'm saying, that he had changed the whole meaning of it and made it into a symbol of hate that is now embedded into a new generation that had no clue what the old ancient symbol really meant. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to do your research and homework to find out a lot of these symbologies and symbols and things that you see, and you'll figure out what they're about. You know what I'm saying? So even here, you see General Sarah Seti. Shout out to General Sarah Seti. You know what I'm saying? This is an image of him in Africa, in Ethiopia, showing you that the swastika came from Ethiopia. Okay, so General Seti, you want to follow him also. General Seti, go over to his YouTube channel and then follow and subscribe to his channel. He'll break everything down for you the way it needs to be broken down. He'll teach you exactly what you need to be taught. You know what I'm saying? The general is the sage of the age. You know what I'm saying? That man has a lot of knowledge, and I highly, highly recommend that you go and subscribe to this channel and follow the general and get that knowledge from the General Sarasun Seti. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the general. But that's what happened. So when you go from these different phases and these different stages from invaders that come into your land, they're going to be raping the women and pillaging your lands, killing you off, taking your lands. And when they rape the women, they create new babies. And those new babies then become mixed. Okay, so then you get a different shade of Indian in that region. Okay, so you see how they went from darker, melanated Indian all the way through the white, light, light, light. And this created within them a caste system. Okay, so their caste system is a racial caste system that they have in India today. So their light-skinned Indians are on the top. They, just like here in America, you got white people on the top, and then their dark-skinned Indians are at the bottom. They like the lowest of the lows, the poor. No one wants to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? People just take advantage of them. They are subjugated to a lot of different, suffering and oppression and things of that nature. And they call them people the untouchables, the Dalits, the untouchables. You see it right at the bottom. And then you see at the top, you have the Brahmin, and those are the really light, white looking like Aryan, like Indian. Okay, those are those people. You know what I'm saying? So, like here in America, you got white people at the top of the pyramid, and then black people down at the bottom. It's no different. It's going on all across the world, not just in America, all across the world. This whole racial caste system is occurring. Okay, where black people are on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Or melanated people are on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? They're hated and they're just despised and treated unfairly, and they're not given equalness, they're not given fair treatment, you know what I'm saying, and they're just treated bad. You know what I'm saying? This no, that's just the facts. You know what I'm saying? That's not a lie, that's just facts. That's historically proven how black people have been treated all across the world. So you can't deny that fact, and you can't deny what has occurred and happened to black people. So it's not just here in America, it's all over the world. Okay, and see, you can see here, look at the girls in the background. The lighter skinned girls are looking at the darker skinned girls, snickering at her and making fun of her because maybe her skin tone, you know what I'm saying, or how dark she looks and stuff like that. So it's embedded or embedded inside of the culture of the children. They inbred this caste system, this racial caste system in India, and they raise up a generation to think and believe that they're superior to the darker skinned Indian. Okay, so you see right here in this map, you can tell how, this portion right here at the bottom, the southern part, is Dravida. That's the heart of Dravida. You know what I'm saying? And the Adivasi tribe is there. And then you also have the Sidi tribe, which we'll talk about in a second. And that's when the Aryans had came into that region of India and pushed them down further south, even going into the islands. Okay, so the Andaman Islands, we're talking about the Andaman people a little bit later, another topic, but even going into the islands, you know what I'm saying? They pushed them out. So here you have a family of the Sidi tribe. The Sidi tribe was a African tribe that came from Ethiopia. They were Africans and they were bought over by the slave trade of Arabs. The Arabs enslaved them and shipped them over to India, okay, during the 7th century AD. All right, during the Arab slave trade. So the Sidi tribe have, this tradition of people who, stayed in India, and then they had children and they started raising their children. You can see right here, they have a whole community of people that are still there currently in India, and it's a large community. The Sidi tribe are part of the untouchables, the Dalit, okay, the darker skinned Indians, and they're, reduced to doing nothing more than entertaining, tourists that are coming in, and they use their traditional African, traditions, along with uh, mixing it with the Indian culture in order to get this combination of African and Indian, traditions, that they do a little ritual or dance or, sing or something to that effect and entertain people. And you could tell right here, this is what they're doing to make money and to live. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't be a part of, the political structure. They can't be a part of, the process of, people being in power over there, because, they're a part of the untouchables in this racial caste system that they have. And you could tell they're just entertaining, trying to make a living, trying to make way in India and do their thing, but they're also fighting for their equal rights. They're fighting for, being treated as human beings. Just be acknowledged and identified as, hey, I'm an equal human being just like you. So why do I have to fit into this, caste system at the bottom of the pyramid and, be treated less than a human? You know what I'm saying? So not only here in America with the Black Lives Matter movement, but also in India, also in South Africa, also in Uganda, just all over the globe. You know what I'm saying? Africans are feeling, the pressure of oppression, from the system, the governmental systems that they have in place. You know what I'm saying? And the Dravidians are still, prevalent today. You can see remnants of them today. Look at this man right here. He's a Dravidian. Okay, sister right here, Dravidian. All right, you can see the images right here. They're still prevalent today. You can see Dravidian bloodlines still prevalent in India today. All right, so the African roots of India by birth and by heart. All right, so they were born in India, but they have African roots, just like I was born in America, but I have African roots. Okay, so it's no different. You know what I'm saying? You may be born in another land, but your descendants, your ancestors, your forefathers, your mothers, your, you know what I mean, your great 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 grandmothers all came from another land of Africa. All right, so they have that information. And then you can see right here, Kamala Harris has been selected by Joe Biden. You know, it was strategically done. You know what I mean? They placed her in that position of vice president for a reason. Not because she was a woman, but because she was from India. Okay, India is now one of the largest. You know, there like billions of people in India, and it's a very strategic move in order for, you know, the U.S. to be able to control a region or have an alliance with a country that is close to China. So China is one of the U.S.'s you know, rivals. So we all have this you know, this situation where the US and China are at conflict with each other economically, okay? And India is stuck in the middle. So they play a part, they play a role in the economic battle that's occurring right now between US and China. All right, so it was strategically done to allow Kamala Harris, who has some Indian roots, that have her Indian roots, be a part of the United States power structure. You know, the Oval Office, the United States president is one of the most powerfulest positions in the country of America, you know, if not the most powerfulest position in the country of America. And to have not only a woman, but an Indian woman underneath that presence in the Oval Office. It was strategically done for economic reasons, for them to be able to compete economically with China, because India can mass produce things. You know what I mean? That the United States cannot mass produce. And then all our imports and exports will go through India as opposed to going through China. So instead of seeing made in China on your tag of your garments, you know, or your whatever things that you buy from Asia, you're going to see made in India now. Okay, so a lot of that is done strategically. You know what I mean? So one book that I do recommend that you go out and go and take a look at is The African Star Over Asia. You know, the black presence of, you know, the East. And then that is by the elder brother who just recently passed. May he rest in power with the ancestors, you know, brother Runoko Rashidi. You know, Runoko Rashidi was a great elder who did a lot of great work. He traveled onto all these many lands, and he had went and saw with his own two eyes, did his field research, and he discovered a lot of ancient African, you know, relics and things that were affiliated with African people, and he put it all in books. And he also did lectures and things of that nature to teach, you know, that black people are all over the globe. Black Africans have a global presence and a global footprint all over the globe. So we're not just located in Africa, we're all over the globe. And you know, Runoko Rashidi was able to go out and, you know, do that work. You know, so I recommend this book highly. Go out and purchase that book by the late great elder Runoko Rashidi, and give yourself this knowledge and understanding of the presence of black African people in the Eastern Asia portion. You know what I mean? That includes India, Hindu Kush, and going into Cambodia, Japan, and, you know, going into Australia and Ottoman Islands, and, you know, Philippines and all that stuff like that. And we'll discuss all of that at a later date and time. But dig, that's all we have for today. That's the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We hope you enjoyed it and got a lot from it and understood exactly what's going on in India and how they went from dark melanated Africans to what you see Indians today. All right. So dig. All right, that's it. You know what I'm saying? The video is almost over, so dig. You know what you got to do. We need you to go ahead and like, subscribe, follow, and share all of our social media platforms at Maarifa Asar LLC. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button. Let's bring those subscriptions up. Let's go ahead and hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to this channel, Maarifa Asar LLC. Also, go over to maarifasar.com right now. You know what I'm saying? As soon as this video is over, go and get you some gear. Rock this melanated bean. Look at these fly melanated beans right here. Man, they looking fly. You need to look fly too. So go over to maarifasar.com and join the knowledge movement. This is African knowledge, y'all. We talking about black culture. Okay, you heard of FUBU? All right, this is FUBU part 2. For the people, by the people. You dig? This is what we doing. We rocking the culture. We bringing it back. All right. Black knowledge is powerful, and we bringing it back. We making it cool again. All right. So that's what we on. You know what I'm saying? So go to maarifasar.com and make that purchase today. So dig. This has been another Maarifa moment where knowledge has been reborn. So the more you know, the more you'll grow, and the better off we all shall be. So until next time, I'll say love and light. Peace. Let's go. All right. We made it. We made it. Live at Seneferu's Pyramid. Okay. Seneferu built this